Hello and welcome to a COVID episode of Sports Wrap. Hate saying that, folks, but this is what we're at right now. As you can see by the mask that Frank and I are wearing. We are back, though. We're finally back.
It's been a long time, Mikey. March 15th, I think, was the last time.
Hallelujah.
I didn't recognize you when I got out of the car. I haven't seen you since then.
I know, it's true. Thank God that you don't have the mask on.
It's amazing what 5 or 6 months can do to make you that much better looking.
I was just going to say, you don't have your mask on. I was waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah, we haven't lost our
Timing. No. So here we are. The gang is reunited. We have our great director, Roxanne Morris, the award-winning Roxanne Morris.
Multi-award-winning Roxanne Morris.
Multi-award, right. And multi-talented.
That she is.
And so we're outside, folks. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in the late summer. Well, actually, September. So it's 6 months since we've done a show.
It has been.
There is nothing.
I can tell by the rust you're just spitting out.
I know. The rust is coming off as I speak. There hasn't been any sports to talk about for a long time.
Until recently, I know.
So, Frank, finally we have something we can talk about. And, with the... Of course, with the season coming up, the best thing to talk about, the first thing to talk about would have to be the Patriots. But the big difference is no Brady.
Who was that? Tom Brady? Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, he was pretty good, wasn't he?
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
In fact, almost all my shirts at home have Tom Brady on them.
Keep them. They'll be collector's items.
I know.
Either that or there'll be bonfires at the end of your street where you can burn them all.
Especially if the Patriots don't have a good season.
I know,
right?
I know. But
So,
it's been a tough summer, man. How you been dealing with everything? Everybody staying healthy and well and all that stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, same with us.
You just have to do like social distancing
Yeah.
and we don't go into restaurants. Some people might, but we don't.
Yeah.
How about you?
The first restaurant I went to an outdoor restaurant on past Sunday, and it was the first time I ate out since probably February. Never set foot in a restaurant.
So were you sitting in the outside?
Outside.
Yeah, so we
Outside.
still haven't done that.
Right on the water,
We're
so
doing curb.
very well done. But
That's nice.
but we're not here to talk about restaurants
No.
and how delicious our food is.
No.
Let's talk Patriots, Mikey.
Okay. So
Kick it off, kid.
Okay, so Patriots. I have to admit that I was not very optimistic about the season when we got Cam Newton at first. Because he's coming off an injury. He
Right.
hasn't played in 2 years, really, or a year and a half.
And a significant injury he broke his ankle, wasn't it?
I think he had he had an ankle
It was his
problem.
ankle, yeah.
And he also had shoulder problems, I think.
Yeah.
So, but with Belichick as the coach, he's going to coach him up. I believe he's going to coach him up. I believe the offense is going to be a little different this year.
Right.
I think they might run more. But I have to be optimistic because we're Patriot fans. And I don't think the team was just Tom Brady.
No.
I think it's Belichick as well. And I think this is an opportunity for Belichick to prove it. So I really am optimistic. And I think they're going to do well. I think they probably make the playoffs.
Right.
And I'm thinking they're going to probably go 10-6.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I found very interesting. Everybody was certainly shocked with Brady,
Right.
and Gronkowski,
That's the other one.
and some of the other people. They lost some key players. They
Right.
lost Patrick Chung.
Right.
They lost some key players.
Yeah,
the
they
defense,
lost Dante Hightower.
Hightower.
Right.
They lost some key players.
They
but
did.
one thing I've noticed about especially in the off season here since they started practicing,
Yeah.
Belichick has been more open to the media. He's not as gruff.
No, he's not.
He's much more forthcoming.
Yeah.
Not giving a lot of information, but he's much more amiable. Now, what that means, I don't know. But my hunch is that what you were saying, I think that he is a master tactician.
Yes.
And I'm sure that he has put together a game plan that is going to be so different than what we're used to. Because right now, the whole offense basically revolved around Edelman, Gronk, and Brady,
right.
pretty much, and their defense.
That's right.
But with the offense shaken up the way that it is, Cam's still an unproven commodity coming back after his health.
Yes.
I think that they are going to put together an entirely different game plan.
I do too.
And they're going to make a combination of running that they're going to utilize Cam Newton,
Yep.
his running game, because they really don't have, they have what, 3 or 4 running backs. You know, they have Michelle.
They have Michelle.
Bolden.
They have Bolden's not there.
Bolden.
They have. That's another guy that left. They
Left.
have Rex Burkhead.
Burkhead, that's what I meant.
They have Michelle. They have this other guy. They were going to bring in Damian Harris, but he got hurt. They got
Yep.
this other guy. His name is J.J. Taylor.
Right. And
I
the
agree
questionable
with
part
you.
too is that they let their kicker go, and there are
Yes.
two kickers fighting out.
I know.
So that's going to be interesting in some of these close games. But I think that Belichick has got that, you know, that poop-eating grin, you know, of what his game plan is, how good this team he thinks really is,
Yeah.
and that they're going to surprise a lot of people.
So do you think then they're also going to make the playoffs and go 10-6?
I think that they can make the playoffs. I mean, even though some of the other teams have bettered themselves. I mean, Miami is going to be no slouch. They picked up some great players, you know, and you know, Buffalo picked up some good players. So I don't think it's going to be a slouch. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think it's going to be a walkover like they've done over the last few years.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I think the defense is going to be key. I think the running game is going to be key, and I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I was talking to Ryan, my son, yesterday, and he thinks they're going to smash Miami to start out.
Yeah, I don't know
31
about
to 10.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean,
don't
could
see
be.
that.
I don't know.
I see maybe, you know, they're going to win, I think.
Who they have for quarterback? Is Tannehill still throwing for them? Who's throwing for them?
No. They have Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick. Okay.
Who I think they probably figure that they're going to, you know, rush him an awful lot. They're going to, like, you know, look to, you know, send the defenders in off the line,
Right.
try to get him off his game, which they've done successfully in the past. But he is really optimistic, you know. And I guess you have to say that. But, you know, the other thing that doesn't make me feel great about it is they don't really have many wide receivers to throw to.
Correct.
Edelman is key, and if Edelman gets hurt, it's not going to be good. I mean, they got the Keel Harry coming back. They got some rookies coming in.
And I think that's where the change of the game plan is going to
Well,
come
that's
in.
probably
You know,
right.
they're gonna instead of being like a 70-30, 80-20 pass to run, they might be more 50-50, 60-40 pass to run.
Yeah.
Because you know, Cam is a big guy.
Right.
He can run. He's got the mobility, and you know, he could be
Well, that's what they're going to say.
correct. He could be the makeup for the running backs.
Right.
You know, he becomes almost a running back in his own right.
Right.
By, you know, he can scramble. He's quick. You know, I've watched him in the television practices, and he's very, very quick. Supposedly, he's
is.
picked up the playbook.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think that he's overly cocky. He's played a really humble kind of a role. He
Yeah,
may
he's
be
embracing
cocky
it.
and everything off the field,
Yeah.
but on the field, he's saying all the right things, doing all the right
Well,
things.
you know what they might be doing too, because, like when they played that read option, you know, where
Yes.
they fake it to the
Right.
to the backs, and then they you know, like Jackson would take off for the Ravens. I think they're going to do something like that. I just, you know, and Cam is big, like you said, and he's in good shape. I just hope they don't overdo it.
And like the fake end arounds too, you know, when they do the end arounds, you know, you know,
Yeah.
giving it off on the end arounds, Cam can keep the ball and go the opposite way.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously you do the end around, the defense goes to the ball carrier. You know, everything
Yeah.
shifts to the direction of the ball carrier. But if Cam keeps it and goes the other way, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that a lot. And I would not be surprised too if Edelman, you know, does not have as many catches as he did last year, because I think that, you know, they're going to try to preserve him, because who else do they have beside him?
Well, you know something, I was just thinking they might even use trick plays where they throw him they use him as a quarterback. Because he was a quarterback.
Correct.
They might, you know, he might be asked to throw the ball sometimes. It's going to be very interesting to see. Very interesting. But
Yeah.
you know, they could do the fake handoff and then the short pass.
You know, and I think because Belichick is usually one step ahead of the competition, I think that Belichick is a master at anticipating what the other coach's game plan is going to be,
Yeah.
and then do something different.
But the big thing is too, the big difference for this game and most of the games, I was looking this up, no fans. There was going to be no fans in the game.
Well, they're putting yours,
for the next
Roxanne,
two
and my
games.
bobblehead.
Yeah, right.
in each of the end zones. So when they kick
Yeah,
the field
cardboard.
goals, there we are.
There we are waving it.
Yeah,
I know.
you
But,
know.
but that's been a big key, to have fans in the stands. So it's going to be like, who wants it more? Because I mean, I've been watching like the Celtics play, and the same thing in the bubble. There's no fans, and it's like mano a mano. Who wants it more? Because there's nobody to like spur on the other
Right.
teams. So that should be very interesting to see how that plays out. I mean,
Yeah.
fans in TV land like us watching it would be great either way.
And it's
but-
also going to be interesting to see what happens, with the elephant in the room, COVID. What's going to happen
right.
when you've got, 50 guys
That's right.
all huddled together, and then you have that kind of contact,
I know.
and let's call the spade a spade. I mean,
They've got to be.
they're
te- they
spitting,
gotta
they're
be-
drinking
they gotta
water,
be
or they're
tested.
spitting out.
Right.
When they clash, you see the
Yeah.
sweat fly.
Right, but I
You
bet
see
you-
all of that stuff. That's a little scary.
It is scary, but I wonder. I'm sure they're going to be all tested right before the game.
I agree.
But even so,
But all it's going to
You're
take
right.
is one player, two players from
know.
different teams, and bingo, they shut that team down
I
for
know.
2 weeks.
yeah, I know.
Quarantine them for 2 weeks.
That's true.
So if like if one player
could
gets it
happen.
on the Patriots, there's a possibility they could
That could ruin
lose
it.
2 weeks.
It is. It actually could blow up the whole season for everybody.
It could.
because they are playing in their own stadiums, or they're playing away, and yeah, it could derail the whole season.
That's the
That's
scary
why they've
part.
done it in college football, because they've been practicing and they find these kids. Well, they don't obviously not in a bubble. They go to parties and
Yeah,
then, So
And we have to remember that a lot of these football players are kids.
I
They're
know.
21, 22, 23.
You're right.
And they're still into that, those hormones rage, and that teenage,
Yep.
that teenage angst
That's right.
goes
And they're
out,
getting
and they want to
together.
party. And plus,
Yeah.
we're talking, quote unquote He-Men here. The macho He-Man is like, who knows what they're thinking and belief in all of this stuff, and
I know.
they're going to go out, and somewhere along the line they're going to bend the rules.
That's why they work so well in the bubble. We should get to the Celtics a little bit, I think, because probably running shorter on time. But
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, we can shift gears. I mean, you've got to give Brad Stevens a tremendous amount of credit for what he's done with that team.
okay, he has done great. But the key game is coming up
Tomorrow.
I think it's tonight.
Is it tonight?
I
Yeah,
think it's
Thursday night.
Wednesday night. Wednesday night.
Wednesday, I don't know what day it is. What
key
month is
game
this
is
anyway,
tonight.
by the way?
Hmm?
They all run together.
I know. But the key game is tonight, because even though they've blown out them twice, the other games have been close. And this is still, like people are saying, this is still the championship team. They're not going to go out without a fight.
No.
They've got to come out just as tough tonight.
Same
as
way. They have to come right out of the box.
Yeah, because they didn't do that under some of the games that they've lost. You
Right.
can tell who has the momentum. So
Yeah. Stevens, I thought he's done a great job.
has done a great
He's
job.
keeping them calm.
Yep.
I think he's got them all under control.
Yep.
And I think he's got them focused on the prize.
Yeah,
And if you listen to the players in the interview, they all say the right things. They
Oh,
take
yeah.
responsibility when they fail. And when you and I talk, is what I noticed that I find very impressive is their ball movement.
Yeah, their ball movement
Their
is
ball
great.
movement has been incredible.
Very unselfish.
And that's the coach. That's
Yes.
coaching as
That's
well.
right.
And the unselfish part. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched some of them, when they were draining the threes, there'd be 4 and 5 passes.
I know.
When I would say that most teams and most players would probably go up for the shot. They'll do the fake, and then, they have the
Or they're
open
looking for
shot,
the best
and then they look
opportunity.
for the open man, and then
Right.
if that guy gets covered, they throw it to the next guy, but they always seem to find that open
yeah,
man.
when they're playing well, that's what happens.
They move that ball around.
And they're unselfish. They don't care who scores.
Correct.
No, I think the big key, I'll tell you, the big key for the Celtics right now seems to be Jason Tatum. If he's playing well, like he didn't play well in the game they lost, Game 5.
Yep.
No, was that Game 5? No, Game 4, right after the one.
Yeah,
that-
they got-
oh my God! You see the one they lost on the buzzer beater?
Oh,
How does somebody score in half a second?
with the guy's hand in his face.
I know. So I think Tatum was feeling sorry for himself. He had an awful Game 4, but then he comes back, plays great in Game 5.
Right.
Not Tatum, Brown. So
Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
I think if Jaylen Brown and the other guys all pick it up again.
They're all picking up. They're all scoring in the teens. I mean, there's a pretty well-balanced scoring
Yeah.
other than the superstars, but everybody's in the 15, 16, 12, 15.
Yeah,
They're all, and I think that's an attribute to what we're talking about with the ball movement.
yeah.
They're catching the open man. and they seem to be draining it. I would like to know what their shooting percentage is, but I would bet it's pretty high.
Yeah, I think it's probably pretty high when they're clicking.
Correct.
Yeah, but I tell you, I would be very scared if they don't win tonight. I don't really want to see a seventh.
Seventh games, it's anybody's
game is like,
yeah, it's anybody's
you
game.
chew your fingernails.
Correct.
off.
Correct.
So, and then and the other thing about that is if they did win tonight, going into 7, they would feel a little bit more positive
Right.
psychologically, I think.
Yeah. Now, have they? It's not determined who they're going to play in the next round, is it?
Yes, it is. Actually,
It's decided?
Miami knocked off the top seed, which is Milwaukee,
Milwaukee.
which was
That's
surprising.
a surprise.
That was a big
A
surprise.
lot of people picked Milwaukee to go all the way this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw some of those games. I think the coach blew some of those
Really?
games.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Miami they're clicking. They're a young team. Everyone can shoot on that team,
Right.
and they're very aggressive. They have tons of energy. I mean, the Celtics are going to be in for it. So
And I think with the way the schedule plays out, I think if they win tonight, they play either Friday or Saturday to start the next series, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it might be.
I think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But I think for the sake of time, I think that it would be fitting that we put a final nail in the coffin for our beloved Bruins.
Oh, Bruins, yeah.
Oh, what a disappointment that was, huh?
Oh my God, terrible.
It was hard to watch the games.
Yes, they had chances in some of the overtime games, but they just couldn't score.
Yeah, and they let in
Halleck-
some soft goals on
Yes.
Halak.
A lot good. Yes, so they lost. But you know something? I saw the other day, I saw the score for Tampa Bay with the Islanders. They killed them, 8-2.
8-2, yeah.
They're scoring. I mean, they're clicking.
Yeah.
The Bruins look like, you watch those games. The Bruins did not look. First of all, they didn't look as in. The Lightning looked bigger and
I
faster.
think the Bruins is one of those teams, and I can't speak for others, but I really think that the Bruins feed off the fans when they're
Oh,
at home in
definitely.
the Garden. They feed off the fans,
Definitely.
and without that fans, I mean, it's one thing to muster your own drive and,
Yeah.
and excitement, but there's another thing when you've got 18,000 people
I know.
cheering that you can't hear yourself think. And I think that is a motivator as well, and I think that might have had an effect on the team as well.
I think too. The other thing is not having Tuukka Rask.
Do you think he's going to come back, by the way?
They say he is, but I would be surprised if he doesn't get traded.
I think Sweeney is kind of. I think
I
Sweeney
don't
is
think-
kind of playing around with that a little bit. Sweeney's saying that he's going to come back. He's talked with them. He's in great health. Blah blah blah. And I agree with you. And I think that what Sweeney is doing is kind of pumping up the goods.
Yeah.
He's in great shape. He's got good mindset. He's definitely coming back. Blah 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 blah. So that other teams might have an interest in him because there's a good possibility they might trade him.
It's sad because Tuukka Rask left because his wife was having a newborn baby.
Right.
So he didn't want to be there with them in that situation.
Now, was that a reason or an excuse? Because if you go back in his history, he's bailed out of key games. He's bailed out of key games. He bailed out of the World Cup. He bailed out of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And he bailed out of like one of the Canadian tournaments, right in key spots. So is that a reason or is it an excuse? Hard to tell.
I don't know. I mean, do
Hard
you
to
hold
tell.
it against him that he didn't?
No, I don't. But it's like it's just, once coincidence, twice, maybe 3 times is a pattern. And he has a pattern of doing
Yeah.
that.
Plus they were the best team going in with him. A lot of people hate him. Don't think that he's like a clutch goalie.
Right.
In other words, when chance to win the cup, he's not going to be the guy that's going to do it.
Correct. And then we got Torrey
But this was
Krug.
his opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and we got to worry about Torrey Krug.
Yeah, I don't know if they should be. I would resign him, but I don't know.
He wants big money,
Not for
long
big
term.
bucks. I don't think so. He was not that impressive in that series. Did you think? I didn't think it was all that.
Nah, he was
impressive.
all right, but I heard his interview, which kind of turned me off a little bit. He said, like, how old is he? He's young. He's pretty
He's a
young,
young
isn't
guy.
he? I don't know, but let's say he's 25.
Not very big
No, well, let's say he's
as a
25.
defenseman.
But I heard the interview with him, and someone was asking him if he's going to come back, and he gave a very vague answer as far as the Bruins go. But he said, I've been in this league for 5 years. I've taken pay cuts. I've worked for minimum wage. He goes, now it's my turn. I want a long-term contract with good money.
Yeah, and I heard Don Sweeney say he wouldn't hold it against him if he left, because he is a free agent, and I don't think the Bruins are going to give him the kind of money he wants.
No.
I don't think he should get it.
No,
I don't think he's that great.
because I think if they bring Rask back, I think they're only going to have to pay Rask maybe 1.8, 2 million, something like that.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I thought he was signed.
But
But
don't
they
know.
need a defenseman like the other guy, like Charlie McAvoy. Oh my God, was he great?
McAvoy was
He
great.
Awesome. The other guy they don't really need to have on that team, and I like Chara, but
Chara.
boy, he is not.
And he said he's coming back.
He's useless.
He said he is coming
I
back.
hate to say this about Chara. He's great, and a great guy, and he's great. But it's not that he's useless, but he can't go forward.
I think it was
He can't
Chara
skate forward.
who they said would get 2 million, 1.8 to 2 million. But they were saying that one of the things that we would
He would have to limit his
that they would
minutes.
do, like limit the minutes, and that he would be a great mentor
He
for
would
the
be a
young
mentor.
players, and people could learn from him, and that if they could find somebody else to fill in that gap when he's not playing.
Well, see, that's the thing. He can't be a number one defenseman.
He's
I
not
shouldn't
number
say
one
he's
anymore.
useless. He's a great player. I take
You're right.
that back.
Hall of Famer.
He definitely is a Hall of Famer, and he's a great Bruin, and he's a great guy.
Yeah,
But,
community guy.
but
you
he's
know,
just-
he's a leader.
He's not a number one defenseman.
No.
Like they were saying, if you put him on the third line or something, you know. But,
Well, the guy's what, 44, 45, 40? He's
yeah,
in
he's
his
older
40s.
than Brady, I think.
He's in his 40s,
Yes,
you know?
he's great. I love him, but what I meant was that he can't. In that series against the Lightning, he could not go beyond the blue line. He just couldn't go forward and go back. He just didn't have the speed.
Right.
That hurt him.
And guys can blow by him, too. You know, the
Yeah.
younger guys just blow by him.
Yeah. So,
But, you know, we're kind
Red Sox.
of winding it down a little bit, and thank God we don't have a lot of time, because I don't
I
think
know.
there's really not a lot to say about our beloved Red Sox.
Oh my God. They've gone from the top of the mountain to the bottom, and like
They're in a valley, forget the bottom, they're in a valley.
in the abyss. I mean,
Better word.
they are the worst pitching. You could, you know, when you're. If too bad you can't get your leads together, you'd be a good pitcher. 'Cause they have no
I could
name
probably
pitchers.
do equally as well as what they're doing now,
Yeah,
underhand.
they're like, I saw a statistic that they're one run worse in their ERA than any other team in the league. Any other team.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, there's no pitching. I mean, unfortunately, J.D. Martinez isn't hitting,
No.
and I guess he does need to have the videos or whatever he needs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's not clicking.
You know,
Devers
they've got
is
some
hitting.
bright spots, you know,
Yeah, there's
some of the
some-
bright spots that we
Yeah.
chatted about.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just so glad we don't have to watch that team.
I know.
Like, if there, I mean, do you think? Okay, so if there was no COVID, they still would have had issues because it doesn't matter, COVID or no COVID. What's the name? What's the guy's name? Nathan
Evaldi.
Evaldi got hurt.
Then they
They had
lost
no
their
Chris-
race. Chris
no
Sale.
Chris Sale, no Rodriguez. So what would they have done anyway?
I know.
And who's going to go to those games and pay that kind of money for
I
that?
know. And what I find irritating too is listening to Renicky.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I haven't heard of him.
You know. Oh well, even though we lost 12-2 today, there were a lot of bright spots.
Oh, he's just.
You know, the guys still have good spirits, and they're going out there and giving it their best. Yeah, we had a couple of hiccups and pitchers threw the
Yeah.
ball where they shouldn't have thrown it, but you know what? We'll work on that, and he'll be better the next time. You know, and then the flowers and
Yeah.
candy and roses,
I know.
fall down from the screen. Every time I see Devers, I think that there we were.
Oh, that's his name.
We're standing here in your Devers, and he's had his headphones on,
I know. What
and
a
it's
missed
like,
opportunity.
you know, and
But
he
I
was.
don't think he spoke English. So even if we went over there,
I think it was the next day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Either the next day or
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
days later, they brought him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard his name in the
I didn't even-
lineup,
and looking
like
at-
the following day or the
Yeah.
next Red Sox game, and we went.
I don't even think we got a picture of him, did we?
No, he was sitting there on the phone by himself.
I think I got a picture, but it didn't come out right. Maybe the sun was on him, but I think
don't know. I
I
can
took a
still see it in
picture.
my mind's
Exactly, sitting there with the he
Yeah.
had the hood on too, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think he had a hood on and the hat, and he was playing with his phone.
I don't know. I don't think he.
In the
I
earphones,
thought he
'cause
was.
he had
I
the,
thought he was on.
he had the earbuds on.
Oh, maybe. I think he had.
Or he was on the phone with the earbuds in. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I just remember sitting at the end of the bench.
But Mikey, we've got to wind this thing down. I think
guess
just the
so.
fact that we're here, we should sit here and have coffee and have,
I know.
just keep this going. I missed it, man. I missed you.
I know. I missed it too.
I miss Roxanne. I missed our
know.
fun that we have.
I do too. In fact, I couldn't even remember our opening song, which is like
Yeah, Eye of the Tiger,
Eye
right?
of the Tiger.
Yeah, we had to look it up.
6 months is a long time.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
so we're back. We are back.
We're back. Hopefully
do
we'll
it
get to
again.
do more.
That's right.
We have a
more
couple of
stuff to
people to
talk about.
thank, even though we're remote. We first
We
of all
do.
have to thank Roxanne for
Yeah,
opening up her
Roxanne.
beautiful deck to us,
That's
her
right.
beautiful home,
That's right. Thank you,
treating us
Roxanne.
like kings here. So thank
right.
you, Roxanne.
Yes, Roxanne, you did a wonderful job as usual. You're the best.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
thank the guys back at the studio because
That's right.
they're going to have to do some uploading and they're going to have to put this on the air.
They are. So thank you to Mike Hammond and Dave Young and
CJ
CJ
Mullen.
and all the guys at Smack. Oh, and there's a Rob, the new guy.
There's
there,
a new guy,
Rotella.
Rob. We
So
also want to thank the people at home too, to
That's
let
right.
them know that we miss them.
we did miss you.
We miss boring you and hopefully
Yes.
at times giving you a
Yes.
couple of chuckles.
That's right. Keeping it interesting.
But but the last 2 minutes, but this World Health Organization has really screwed us up, Mikey.
Who?
World Health Organization.
Who?
I just told you. World Health Organization.
Who? WHO. Who?
Who? Correct.
Who? Correct. Okay. Who?
We haven't lost
know.
our.
Timing.
So for
Until
all
we
the
see you.
trees and the birds and a
That's
couple
right.
of
Flowers and the
mosquitoes that
trees.
have come by,
And we want to wish the Patriots great luck on Sunday.
we do that.
And we want to wish the Celtics a major victory tonight. Let's end the series.
And we also want to say hello, and we miss our third man in, Antonio.
Antonio, wherever you are, you're welcome to come back anytime.
So for Antonio, I am Frank Walsh.
I am Mike Wigdor.
That's Roxanne Morris.
And we will see you
Down the road.
down the road.